apologize about that. I don't know what the hell happened. I know I was messing around with this other whatever you called it device, and the live stream died. You know what I'm saying? It died, people. Um, when you guys come in, hit that like button. And no, we were talking about, man, we were in some nitty gritty stuff. I just hate when that type of stuff happens, technical difficulties or whatever. But um, but no, I think that like the build up between Jarrell Miller and Deontay Wilder would be massive. It would be some massive stuff. Let's watch real sports. Hi, Adari Pennant. Hope Turkey Al Sheik can get rid of the too many weight divisions in the belts in boxing. Well, I don't think the belts would matter as long as the money, long as the belts are unified by guys that are able to carry the belts and represent the belts like they should. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's about, and I think Turkey Al Sheik is bringing them people there because it's like. We wouldn't even need the fight. The build up would be enough. Yeah, I agree with you talking about Wilder and Miller. That would be an American thing, and I think that should be at Madison Square Garden. I think they should go all out for that. I think they should promote that. I think here that should probably be the summer of 2025. The reason why I say that is because there could be one last hope after. Um, I think this is what they should do. Miller taking on Wilder for the dominance or the supremacy of the American heavyweight uh, landscape. And I think whoever wins, I think Turkey should put like a $10 million, give them both 5 million apiece. And I think whoever wins should have the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua if Anthony beats, you know what I'm saying, Usyk. So if Usyk, we'll see possibly Fury versus Joshua. Then whoever wins out of that becomes, of course, the undisputed heavyweight champion. So after that, then I think the number one candidate should be the winner out of Miller versus Wilder. That would be big. Um, Hi, Kurt. You have a nice channel, bro. Yinka, appreciate you, brother. Uh, what about Wilder versus Jared Anderson? I don't know if that would be something that Wilder would want based on what just happened to Jared, because Jared just came onto the scene and got knocked off the scene just as fast. So I don't think he's ready for that. You know what I mean? I don't know if he wants that type of fight. Could he beat Wilder? Sure, he could beat Wilder, but I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do right now. You know what I mean? Wilder already lost to Zhang and Parker. He doesn't deserve it if he beats Miller. Well, Miller's lost to Dubois. Then he drawed with Andy Ruiz. Then if he fights this year and beats whoever the hell this year, he would have beat them too. Then Wilder has another opportunity, more than likely his last, because that's what Turkey said. Look, I'm giving you one more chance, Wilder. Show me who you are. You did not show me enough. I want to see you. Alhamdulillah, I want to see you. Inshallah, I want to see what the Brand Bomber can do. Are you killer? Can you kill? I can kill. Can you kill? I can kill. Can you kill? I can kill. I can kill. To this day. To this day. Can you kill? I can kill. That's what I want to see. Show me. I will give you $10 million. But if you do not win, you cannot come back in. It is over for Riyadh season for you. Okay. I'll do what you want me to do. How you say it, inshallah. To this day. That sound like to this day in Arabic, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? Maybe. Ain't it? Maybe. Kurt, what percentage do you give Dubois to beat AJ? A puncher's percentage. Ah, yeah, buddy. Yeah. Fizz, your impressions are on point. Appreciate you. Oh, Isaac in the building. Salute to all boxers and boxing fans, says Daniel Pines in the place to be. Salute to all of you that's back on the scene, because I'm not done, because I'm lean and I'm mean. And I'm here with another live stream. Bars. Kurt, what about Deontay Wilder versus Kubrat Pulev? Kubrat Pulev. Or Manuel Char. That may be doable, both of those fighters, because those guys are nowhere. Manuel Char really wasn't all that anyway. I think he was just kind of like a Arab cheerleader hype guy. You know what I mean? You pussy, what Joshua too. I will beat you too. I will run and race my lion to you, and I will beat you because you pussy. You did not win Olympic gold. You are pussy. I spit at you, and I'm ready to fight because Tyson Fury will beat you. That's Manuel Char, people. Mahmoud Char. Listen, no. Other than that, Kubrat Pulev, you know, the kissing Jenny Suche or Shishu. Yeah, I mean, he's not where he used to be, because even, I mean, he gave Derek Chisora a good battle. But yeah, throw Wilder in there with one of them guys. You know what I mean? I just don't know if I don't know if Turki Al-Sheikh would want to hire those old heads. They're all old now. How old is Manuel Char? Let's see. Manuel Char is pretty on up there. Manuel Char. He is 39. So his birthday is October 10th. He is a Libra. Shout out to the Libras in the building. Yeah, I don't know if Turkey would want to promote someone like that. You know what I mean? Maybe for the sake of Wilder by getting him back in there, but I don't think Turki Al-Sheikh is interested in giving anybody tune-ups for any reason. I think anything he puts his money into, he wants to see, and it's going to be something challenging. You know what I mean? He's one of those wild card guys. I want Wilder with Bakoli. Let's do Bakoli and Wilder. If Wilder beats him, he can finish and shut up Bakoli. But if he doesn't, he's finished. Pulev will get smoked, probably. But Pulev, I know he's 41, 42. You know? Kubrat Pulev. Oh, God. Well, yeah, they actually pulled it up. Boxer. Cool, let's see. And he's 43, bro. Kubrat Pulev is 43 years of age. Deontay Wilder would knock out Kubrat Pulev and Manuel Char. Well, hey, you know what? Call Uncle Al and set that shit up. You know what I mean? Set it up, man, and get your. I think Wilder needs some credibility. I think he needs some confidence. I think he needs a knockout. I think he needs to know that he can knock people out. Because if you're not knocking guys out, you couldn't knock out Parker. You didn't knock out Zhang. You got knocked out by Zhang. I think he's going to need to know that. He's going to need to show so he can allow and he then can know. See, I think he has to show to know. I don't think as long as Johnny Fiddler, counterpunch to you, hi. I don't think that Wilder will know until he sees himself knock someone out. He has to convince himself that he can do it by doing it. If he doesn't, I don't think that he knows he can. That's the problem. I don't think that, Wilder knows it. He may not. That ayahuasca, he needed that shit to calm his nerves. Because between getting his ass knocked out by Tyson Fury and that fucking child's mom, his ex-girlfriend and all that shit, cheating on him and all that, then I think that's I think that's something that he needed or he felt he needed. But I think at the same time, the ayahuasca might have took away his stress, but at the same time, it could have took away that eagerness, that where that stress, what it created a certain amount of anger. And I think the anger which he needed to be that knockout guy, that guy that like, I'll break every fucking bone in my hand to knock your face off. That guy maybe is dead. mentally, spiritually. You know what I mean? That might have that receptor was probably snatched right out of his brain. That instinct. Kurt Manuel Char is the WBA regular heavyweight champion. So Anthony Joshua will never be champ again. Okay. Logan Hearsum. Chisora turned down Kalnaki to fight Pulev for a second time. You remember that? Right. No. But I mean, it was a good idea. I'm glad because, see, Adam Kalnaki is damaged goods. He's no good at this point. I feel bad for Adam Kalnaki. He's not a bad dude. I think, all those Al Heyman guys, though, that thought that they were going places far and make millions of dollars for fight purses, and that all came crashing down when he was moving up the ladder. And once he got to that certain point where someone that was smart enough to know, you know what, if I keep this guy that doesn't have defense on the end of my shots, I can knock him out. And that's exactly what Robert Helenius, the Nordic Nightmare, did. The Nordic Nightmare became a nightmare for Adam Kalnaki. Oh, yes, indeed, he did. But he's getting better and better. Right now, Inui better. Inui's a bad boy, man. That's a bad dude. Better watch out, Shokazugi. Wrong, Kurt. Wilder's power is gone. It came from timing and speed, which is the first to go. He's not physically strong. Well, I hope you're wrong, because if that's the case, he's going to be knocked out again. And if he gets knocked out again, man, he's going to be in the same situation as like Kalnaki, guys like that. Joe Joyce, guys that just keep getting beat and keep getting beat and keep getting beat, and they can't win a fucking fight. They can't win a fight for nothing. I mean, and it's really embarrassing to the point where, man, here's the thing. You don't want to leave the sport bitter. Wilder is a frail old man at this point. You guys notice, though, I mean, I don't want to talk about Wilder. I don't like talking about people, especially when they're going through something. I know I know good and well. God knows he's going through something. But if you notice how small Wilder's got, I mean, Wilder, listen, I know it. I know it, man. I know what that is. That ain't crack. That ain't drugs. That shit is stress. That motherfucker's heart broke. I don't give a damn. Listen, 10 years, 11, no, 10 years is 14. 10 years ago, right now, 10 years ago, I was probably about 198 pounds. Dead ass. Okay, look at me. Okay, I am 240 pounds. Okay, I'm a pretty solid dude. 6'2". Okay, 6'2" tall. I'm about 245. You know what I mean? I'm about 245. 10 years ago, I had the worst, I mean, absolutely the worst breakup in history. A girl was in love with me. Suppose I was in love with her. The next week, this motherfucker was getting married to somebody else. It destroyed me. Okay? It destroyed me. So I lost. I was about 230 then. So I was in better shape and everything. Younger, better shape, because I was a physical trainer. I did physical training. I used to train a bunch of chicks, and I went from 230 to 198. All that weight just fell off of me. I was just and people were like, "Yo, what's wrong with you, Kurt? You good?" No, I ain't good. I'm just walking around places. You see Kurt walking, like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he walking? Okay. Wilder is in that same situation. He's too small. It's hard to feel bad for somebody as egotistical as a Wilder. No, because I think maybe the egotistical or the arrogance was a kind of a cover up for being insecure. It was probably a front. Kurt, I'm really sorry for what happened to you. Man, Adari, man, I don't wish that on anybody. I'm sorry that shit happened to me too, but I learned a valid lesson about people, you know. You can't put your trust in people because see, my problem was just maybe TMI. I had lost my mom the year before. So 11 years ago, I lost my mom the year before, and then I was with someone, that same person when I lost my mother. So when I lost my mother, that person was like kind of there to, you know what I mean? That kind of like the crutch that you could, you know, kind of depend on and shit like that. And then all of a sudden that motherfucker was gone and in love with somebody else and carried their ass and jumped the broom and married somebody else. And you're like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? It was that fast. You know, and it made you think, like, how long was that shit going on? Well, in Wilder's case, to tie that into what he's going through, because that's what this is about, not just necessarily me, I just using myself as an example. Wilder probably thought that, hey, this one is the right one. This one is the one that I need to be with. Was he probably egotistical? Sure. Was he probably over controlling? Of course. But then he didn't think that it was anything wrong with what he was doing based on what she was accustomed to taking. What I see about Taylor Swift, obviously she wasn't the Rock or wasn't comfortable with everything that he did to her or with her. You know what I mean? And the things that he did to her or with her, she put up with, but it wasn't because she probably loved him. It was because of somewhere that she wanted to go financially. So if he started losing, you know what I mean? Oh, well, shit, I got to get out of this shit. This guy's losing now. He's a loser. Kurt, have you seen her again since it happened to you? About 5 years ago, I seen her because she works at the airport. She's like a supervisor at the airport, and I ran into her. And I talked to her for about I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so. But it wasn't anything that scraped the surface. It was just kind of like it wasn't even anything that we talked about. It was almost like how we used to talk before we broke up, just random bullshit talk like how's your parents doing or how's this going or how's that going. But other than that, it wasn't like, oh, I'm married now with kids and oh, I'm with this girl. No, it wasn't anything like that. It wasn't anything that was that deep. It was almost like someone that you used to know that you haven't talked to in a long time. So it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? Has I seen her since then? Well, unfortunately, I try to fly out of Dallas if I'm in Shreveport just to avoid all that shit. I don't want to see her. I don't want to walk past TSA and there she is. And I don't want to do that because I'll be probably going on vacation somewhere. And the first thing I want to see on my day of vacation is someone like that. So if Usyk can bash Fury around like a dummy, then AJ will put his lights out when he lands because he will land. Maybe. I always think Joshua could whoop Fury. I mean, just he has no problem with the height. Fury will make it difficult. But I mean, you never know, man. You never know. What's your thoughts on Joshua running it back with Parker or Parker running it back with White? Well, Parker's called out White. So, I mean, if he wants that, if Parker wants it and White wants it, why not? I'm not opposed to it. AJ versus Parker, I mean, it was such a shit chess match fight anyway. I don't want to see that again. But I mean, if it's better, it might be a totally different fight. It may be someone multiple knockdowns, someone getting knocked out. That would be pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't have any problems with it. It's just so many other fights that I would like to see from other fighters and other challenges with other opposition besides the same shit that we've already saw. And since we've already saw them, I'm like, okay, well, what's the point, I want Zhang versus Parker rematch. You'll get it. The final boss, Luka Mora, you'll get it. That fight's coming next. I see Fury. I see Fury using his weight to lean on AJ. And use lots of uppercut. Not Fury pulls out. You probably grab Joshua, grab his big ass and start uppercut. I want Zhang versus Parker rematch and Bakali versus the winner of Dubois versus AJ. That could happen, maybe. But nobody's eager to fight Bakali, man. And that goes for Eddie Hearn, too. He don't want to put his fighters in there. I know Frank has already said, we're not fighting him. Bullshit. Kurt, who wins? Joseph Parker versus Razor Ruddock. Razor Ruddock destroys Parker. Clarence McLean, No Duck Zone podcast. Counterpunch Boxing. Salute my guy. Salute to you, Clarence McLean, in the building. St. Don. Fury would probably just school Joshua. Joshua's so predictable. Yeah, just like Ngannou, huh? I'm not sure about Fury being able to put his weight on AJ. Last time he fought a bodybuilder, Ngannou pushed him across the ring. Just like Ngannou, huh? Retro Gaming, Angry Gamer. Ruddock knocked Parker out. Yeah, I think so. Big DAZN show here in New Zealand next Saturday. 4 heavyweight fights. Get at it, Kurt. Counterpunch to you, Logan. Who's fighting? Razor Ruddock was trash. Lost to every world-class guy he fought. Well, it depends on who you call world-class. There you go. I lost to all the good guys. I mean, how bad could that be? Right? Shit. Let's just be real, man. I believe Parker is the 5th or 6th youngest heavyweight champion in history. Yeah, he's pretty young. And he was damn sure young then. If he's 31 years old now or 32, how old is Parker? How old is... Come on, dude. Stop. How old is Joseph Parker? He's 32. Okay. So 32, 6 years ago, he was 26. So, yeah, he was young. Skrilla 50 in the building. Counterpunch to you, brother. AJ scrapes Fury. Kurt, do you think White would beat Fury? Dillian White? Nah. He already lost to Fury. Fury showed... Look, Dillian White didn't do anything with Fury. I was wrong with that prediction. People, I was wrong. I got drunk. And I was wrong. I worked all night. We worked graveyard shift. And this is the crazy thing about that night. I was working on Color Purple. And Color Purple, and I was also going through a bad breakup. So a lot of people don't know that. I was going through a bad breakup, so I was arguing all morning with my ex. And I was arguing with her, and I started drinking. And I started doing that shit with no sleep, no food. But I knew, hey, the fight's going to start. So by the time the fight started, I didn't have anything on my stomach. And I had a bunch of bourbon in my belly, along with no sleep. So I was like, hi, this is Tyson Gypsy Fury on. Tyson Gypsy King. Tyson Gypsy King Fury. Yeah, it was bad, bro. It was terrible. Some of you guys were there. If you were there, I mean, thousands of people was on. Like, what the hell is wrong with Kurt? Kurt got off at 8, 9 o'clock. One of the first directors got into it with the stunt coordinator, my boss, and we had to pry them apart. So people started drinking anyway. So we got off. We were drinking. It was Saturday. Understand, you guys are 6 hours ahead of me. Okay, I was in 5 because I was in Georgia. Okay, I was in Atlanta. Was it in Atlanta? I was in Atlanta. So you guys are 5 hours ahead. So I didn't have too much time. So I didn't have time to sleep. I didn't have time to lay down. I didn't have time to do any of that shit. I was just lifted. But then I seen Dillian White get his ass handed by Tyson Fury. I love Povetkin starching White. Boy, I rolled. When I saw that, I love that shit too. Don't get me wrong. See, I like when underdogs show who they are. I love when fighters show who they are. Regardless of what you think or what was supposed to happen between them, don't matter. Those did the talking. Alexander Povetkin didn't, I mean, this was COVID season, bro. Alexander Povetkin. Alexander got hit by a shot, bro. He got touched by a shot. um and Povetkin, bro, came in there, gave that man an uppercut after being dropped twice and knocked Dillian White's ass out in the 5th round. He just kept going to the body. Kurt, I always wanted to see Evander Holyfield versus Razor Ruddock. Yeah. Do you think Dubois will show who he is on the 21st? Yeah. He sure will. Kurt, Oscar Rivas versus Derek Chisora. That's a fight I see Derek getting knocked out. Because one thing about Oscar Rivas is no bitch no, bro. Oscar Rivas versus Derek Chisora. That's that fight Derek's looking for. You heard Derek say, I want big fight. I want to fight some dangerous fight. I want somebody to take my head off. I want to see this shit. I want to take I am ready to get in there with a dangerous fighter. That's Oscar Rivas. Go in there and fight him. Fine, Derek. Fight Oscar Rivas and see what happens. Fight that big ball-headed ass cyborg Colombian looking motherfucker if you want to. Go ahead and try him if you want to. Go ahead if you want to. Why did Povetkin pull out the Stavern fight? He swerved a few Americans, including Ortiz. I don't know. I couldn't tell you that, man. I didn't know much about Povetkin. I just knew Povetkin's supposed to fight Wilder. It was real dirty. I know he got beat by Vladimir Klitschko. That was his first loss and only loss since the Joshua fight. And then he tied with Michael Hunter, and then he knocked out Dillian White. Then he caught COVID and got sick as shit, and then he was pretty much forced into a rematch with Dillian White, and that was it. And it's over with for Povetkin because I think it wasn't White that took him out. It was the freaking COVID that took him out. He was no good at that point. Rivas is gone since October. It doesn't matter. I think, put him in there with Derek Chisora. Povetkin in his prime was a problem. Yeah, he was. What's with the position with what is the obsession with Ortiz? He's achieved nothing in his career, just a PBC hype job just for Wilder. David, I do not agree with that. I did a poll for people that knew anything about Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz wasn't a PBC fighter. He was a matchroom fighter. This is why I love your channel, because you keep it 100. Much respect to you, man. Absolutely. But listen, Luis Ortiz was a matchroom fighter. Eddie Hearn signed him. He fought Malik Scott. He fought Dave Allen. And then all of a sudden, Eddie Hearn decided, you know what? I don't want Luis Ortiz no more. Let's drop him. He did the same thing to fucking Hunter, too, technically. He was like, you know what? Here, let me show you this shit contract to make it shitty enough for you to leave. Eddie doesn't really, just like Bob, doesn't really drop you. But what they do is they give you something that you're so uncomfortable with that you're like, you know what? Fuck that. That your team is going to look at that like, what? Eddie, you tripping. What you smoking? Let's go. That's what happened. And see, that's when he had who? Dillian White. He was managing Dillian White. Eddie Hearn was with Matchroom. Anthony Joshua with Matchroom. You know what I mean? He had a lot of guys at Matchroom. He had Luis Ortiz. He just let that go. Joyce swerved Ortiz, and look, Joyce allowed Abel Sanchez to duck for him. Oh no, he's not ready for that fight like that. Nobody wanted Ortiz. So people, you ask, what's the obsession with Luis Ortiz? Luis Ortiz was avoided. He was avoided. Okay? He was. People didn't want to fight that dude. Everybody talks shit about him. How old is he? Yeah, they know he lied on his age, but he'll whoop your ass if you give him a chance. Wilder just that was his claim to fame. You know? Now, did Al Heyman kind of like help that shit? Yeah, he did. Rene Perilla in the house. Rene Perilla. What's up, brother? You still in Louisiana? Big up. White cheat Rivas. They should have told Rivas on what was going on because Rivas didn't have to fight Dillian White based on the shit that happened. And he dropped White in the 9th round with a left uppercut. Ortiz was the definition of the boogeyman. At the time, if you go back 6 to 7 years, Luis Ortiz was an undefeated, hungry, mean Cuban. He didn't even fight like a Cuban, but he was a hell of an aggressive counterpuncher. The shit he did to guys like Brian Jennings and guys like that, he knocked their face off. Frank Sanchez, future. I don't know. I have to see how he performs. I haven't heard from Frank. I'll reach out to him. You know, I don't like to bug people, honestly. Prime for prime, Ortiz versus Chris Berg. Who wins? I don't know. Because, see, the thing about Ortiz, he's slick, and he's also a southpaw, so he's in the same stance. It's not like Chris Bird is a switch hitter. So he's not Terrence Crawford in it. He's not doing that. What he's doing is he's just very quick for a southpaw in his size, and he's able to spin and change pivots. You know what I mean? He's able to control distance, and he's in your face, and he makes it very, very uncomfortable for you with his hand speed. But see, Ortiz is a guy that he will time you. And if he times you and catches you, he will take you the hell out. He's done that to a lot of people. Ortiz was offered AJ on short notice. Ask it, which is garbage. Well, no, that's true. Jim Jimenez, I think this is my prediction or my take on that. Jim Jimenez, I think that's his name. Jim Jimenez. They say they dropped the ball. They did. But see, understand, they offered a fight to Luis Ortiz, but I don't think it was one of those fights that they necessarily wanted. What I mean by that is, okay, before Luis Ortiz's name was ever brought up, they asked Derek Chisora for a fight. And this was I believe it was in 19. Because I remember doing the video right before I went to work. I was still working at the casino at the time. And I heard that Luis Ortiz called out Anthony Joshua. And when he called him out, he was like, yo, I want this fight. And then Jim Jimenez claimed that they lowballed him. So Eddie Hearn was like, I didn't lowball shit. You guys are done. You know what I mean? Luis Ortiz versus Ike Barabucci, prime for prime. I don't know. Because, I mean, you have to go back pretty far for Luis Ortiz. You got to go back to like 2016 or 15, like 8 or 9 years ago. You know, I mean, it had to, and I think that even put Luis Ortiz probably in his late 30s. Joshua would have done Ortiz the same way he did Charles Martin. I don't know about that. Luis Ortiz fights nothing like Charles Martin. Charles Martin was an overrated fighter that was a hype job. And the only reason that he became champion was he got emailed. Well, he was given a belt due to someone else being injured. He didn't even land a punch to even earn a victory. He became a champion. So all that shit that happened between him and the injured fighter, that gave him the money or the belt. The belt gave him the fight purse. The fight purse gave him the money, and the money is what made Charles Martin. I walk this earth like a rich god, Martin. That's what he did. He did not give a shit, and he got knocked out in 2 rounds. No, Ortiz is a lot smarter than that. He's not trying to come in with bullshit. He's not going to do that. Chris Bird versus Fury. I think that's a very experienced fight. So, no, I don't. No, AJ doing that shit to Luis Ortiz. No, I think if anything, you would probably have some scares in there because Luis Ortiz knows how to fight, bro. He knows how to fight. He knows how to counter. He has a strong, heavy right hook The same fucking right hook he caught Wilder with, and and they gave Wilder 28 seconds in the next round to help him recover because they knew his ass was punch drunk on the way back to his corner after Luis Ortiz opened a can of whip ass on him. Which in both fights between Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz was winning. Luis Ortiz won more rounds than Wilder in their saga together. Facts. You know what I mean? Luis Ortiz was beating Wilder. It's just Wilder landed that punch. Wilder, when he landed the punch in the second fight, he screwed himself because he thought, hey, I've got this extra weight on me. I'm 232 pounds. I don't have to be quick. All I have to do is throw this punch. Everybody believed that dumb shit until he got his ass slapped around and beat up and knocked down and stopped by Tyson Fury. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, he knocked out Dominic Breazeale, but he was slow as shit. And then he fought Luis Ortiz again and caught him with one shot. Who wins, Derek Chisora versus Charles Martin? I'll go with Derek Chisora. I don't think Charles Martin. It would be a good fight, I think, because Charles Martin can scrap, but something's not quite right with Charles Martin. I think Charles Martin can't take shots well. Hey, Kurt, Artur's knee is not 100%. He loses. If Artur, yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Wounded Warrior, rated R. Retro Gaming, Angry Gamer. Roy Jones Jr. versus AJ. You can't go against Roy, especially a prime Roy. But to be fair, Roy never fought like Lennox Lewis or Mike Tyson or shit like that, in while he was fighting. CJ Esperon, salute to you, counterpunch to you, brother. Chris Bird did well considering how small he was. He was naturally a light heavyweight. Or he said he was a middleweight, so I don't know what it is. But he did cancel his comeback because, this guy had a whole white-ass beard looking like Damon Hansu and shit. You know what I mean? Looked like he had all been fasting for like 40 days and 40 nights and shit like that. He looked hella skinny. Briggs versus Zhang. I would go with Zhang. I haven't seen Shannon Briggs anywhere for a long time. I've seen him shadow box and shit like that, but no. Tua versus Wilder. Wilder hits anybody. Well, Tua hits anybody, they're over with. I bet Eddie talked him right up like he was selling a car. Yep. Tua has an iron chin. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. What do I think about Moses Atoma? I think he's a great prospect. I think he needs to take his time as a good prospect or whatever, and then we'll see what he does. Kurt, who wins, prime Luis Ortiz versus prime Lennox Lewis? I got to go with the Lion on that one. But then, that's Lennox. That's Luis Ortiz, though. Anything can happen in that fight. Tua versus Evander. Depends on which Tua and depends on which Evander. Tua probably 400 pounds now. Well, he's about 285. No, he might be about 260. Imagine Tua versus Ike rematch, Kurt, since they're both sparring for a comeback. Yeah, I don't think that I want to see that again, simply based on the fact that may open up some old blood. They're older now. They're both like 50, 51 years of age, and I don't think that that's a fight that is good for any of those fighters now. They would take too many shots, and I think they would try to prove too much. And they've already been in there with each other. And Ika Barabucci's trying to erase the last 20 years of him being incarcerated, going through God knows what. So I'm not sure where his head would be. Have you seen Tua lately? He looks evil. He looks like an old savage-ass Islander. I've seen him Fucking calf muscles are this big and shit like that, bigger than my head. Yeah. You know, and he's doing diabolical ass shit though. Like, oh, I'm like, he's bench pressing a lot of shit. James Toney versus Ortiz. Nah. Kurt, who wins? Bakadil Jololov versus Zilly Zhang. I don't know. That's a hard fight to determine because, you know, Jololov, is he smart? He would take a walk. He would take walks around the block, then come back. But Zhang is also a powerful dude. If he was a better finisher, he would be absolutely dangerous to everyone. He's dangerous now for his counterpunching and I think his heavy hands, but he doesn't have that killer instinct, you know, that kind of boop, 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 boop. He doesn't have that shit. Tua versus a generation of heavyweights. He would have problems with everyone tall. Everyone tall he would have problems with. Tua is like Wolverine's height. That motherfucker's, he would throw those shots and miss. Look at the Lennox Lewis fight. That shit was embarrassing. Lennox Lewis was bat, 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 spat, bat, bat, zoot, bat. Every time he threw that left hook, he would lean back and then, Now I told you, you know, he would make Tua pay by punching him dead in his damn face. Every time he would throw that left hook and miss. So it almost was like, Tua, like, damn, if I keep throwing this shit, this dude's going to keep hitting me. Wilder versus Anderson. I don't want to see that right now. Both guys are grieving. Let them grieve. Fury would tease Tua to death. Martin McCauley going to be avoided. Yep. Ricky Wallace. Yep. Aduri Pennant. Kurt, can you imagine if Zilly Zhang did not have stamina issues? He would be relentless and he would be terrible and he would probably destroy every fucking body. Because for what I can see, he has a chin. For what I can see, he could get it in. For what I see, the only thing that's stopping him is his ability to keep moving forward. Kurt, who's the next best heavyweight prospect in the U.S. after watching Jared Anderson? Probably Michael Hunter. Wilder versus Ajagba. That would be pretty dope. I mean, they would have to get together with Bob Arum because Efe Ajagba is a ESPN fighter. Zhang would stop McCauley early. McCauley has no defense. I don't know. Fury wouldn't even survive Oliver McCall in the 90s. Those guys are tough back then, though, dude. If Fury kept Tua on the outside, he'll do what Lewis did to him. Yeah, but I don't think he would hurt him like Lennox did. Lennox peppered him with the jab, but Lennox Lewis put combinations together and then gave him a hard shot to make him respect him. But Lennox Lewis knew, like, hey, I can't just go toe-to-toe with this guy because he might hit me with something and knock my face off. And that could have happened in any Tua fight. That's to this day. If Tua hits you, he's going to knock you out. Oliver McCall was a journeyman who landed one lucky punch. Oliver McCall, bullshit. Bullshit. Oliver McCall? You better know your history talking about Oliver McCall. You better put some respect on Oliver McCall's name. That dude wouldn't just know lucky journeyman until he got his lucky shot against Lennox Lewis. That's bullshit. You better look at Oliver McCall. Matter of fact, before I jump off of here, let's get a little lesson on Oliver McCall, okay? Oliver McCall was a bad MFer, okay? Yeah, he had 14 losses, and one of them by KO. One. All of them had to be by TKO or the referee stopping it. But he had 59 wins, 38 by KO, okay? He did a lot of fighting. Like, Francisco Pianetta, he knocked out Pianetta. That's the guy that Tyson Fury fought coming back into the game. Dude, he fought a lot of fucking people. I mean, a lot of people. Remember Henry Akinwande that knocked out John Fury? He knocked him out. Let's keep going. Let's see who else knocked out Larry Holmes, knocked out Lennox Lewis. Lawrence Carter, he knocked him out. Look, he lost to Buster Douglas because Buster Douglas, they thought that he was a shoe-in, you know. He lost to Mike Hunter, which is Michael Hunter's father. Okay. He was the one that sparred with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson gave him all types of hell. If you guys want to see a hell of a sparring session, go look up Oliver McCall versus Mike Tyson. Oliver McCall was giving Mike Tyson the fucking blues. Facts. Frank Bruno beat him in 95. Okay. Oleg Moskayev, if you guys remember him, he was a beast. He knocked out Kirk Franklin. He knocked out Hasim Rahman. Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis. He knocked that guy, sparked the hell out. You got to know your history of boxing before you sit there and say shit like, oh, he didn't do anything but knock out Lennox Lewis. No. Oliver McCall was in the mix. And for the record, Lennox Lewis didn't beat Oliver McCall in the fight. That was a stoppage due to TKO because whatever the fuck was wrong with Oliver McCall, he was going through some shit. He did not want to fight. He did not want to engage. He came to the ring crying. Something was wrong with him. I don't know if he was high. I don't know what he was on. I don't know. He was having some type of breakdown / breakthrough. I don't know what was going on with Oliver McCall, but he did not. Lennox Lewis did not beat him like everyone think. Like Lennox did Hasim Rahman, knocked him out in the 4th round with a right hand and a left hook. No. Or a left hook and a right hand. He didn't do that to him at all. Bullshit. No, sir. Lance Whitaker. He knocked out Lance Whitaker. It was a lot of guys that he took out, bro. So, no, I don't want to hear that. Oh, well, no, bro. No. Yeah, Tua Ruiz. Yeah, I remember that. John the Quiet Man Ruiz. That shit was massive, bro. When he knocked out, that shit was funny, though, man. I think about that fight. I can remember that fight in my mind. And David Tua hit him because he was kind of pawing with the left, and he comes up, boom! He hits John Ruiz so hard. John Ruiz goes back into the ropes. He collapses in the ropes. And then here comes David Tua, like he comes marching over. He comes in there trotting, and they just have this fucking fight, this exchange between Ruiz and David Tua, which David Tua already hurt him, so he was just kind of just finishing him off. They were just, and then it was like they were both throwing punches. Let me look that shit up. I gotta show you guys this shit because you can't make it up. And until David Tua called him, boom, boom, and then David Tua kind of just runs with a left hook and leans into John the Quiet Man Ruiz and knocks him out cold. Who wins over Oliver McCall versus David Tua? I'm not really sure. It depends on when they fought. If it was in the 90s, because Oliver McCall, by the time he fought Lennox Lewis again, he was really no good, to be true. Lennox Lewis, Lennox Lewis. He lost to Lennox Lewis in 97. We have another member. Welcome to Counterpunch Silver. Conrad Francis in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Go on over there to the members only and check out all the footage and the back story things that I have to offer only members. And that is for you. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Tua did the same shit to Shane Cameroon. Yeah, he knocked him out. Yeah, Shane. I remember Shane. Shane was talking all that shit. He beat Larry Holmes. He beat Lennox Lewis. He beat Dan Murphy. Lawrence Carter. He got beat by Tony Tucker, though. Orlin Norris. James Buster Douglas. David Tua is about like 5'9". He's short. He's built like a Ninja Turtle, bro. So let's see here. Kurt, who do you got in their prime? Tyson or David Tua? I
scheduled for 12 or less, maybe hundreds of thousands of them.
It's crazy. I'm looking at this shit now.
Two things you must remember: obey my commands at all times, and most important, protect yourself at all times. Any questions? Shake hands. Good luck to boxing.
Tua sparks Joshua.
Scheduled for 12 or less. David Tua, the black trunks. You got to look at him right there. Owner of a tremendous left hook. And John Ruiz, 225. Listed as having a reach advantage here. We'll see how it
Boom!
goes. Tua with a big left hook, and Ruiz in trouble. Tua comes right at him. Another big bomb, and Ruiz is
Over with.
down. This could almost be over.
Over, dude. It's over. It's over.
Storming out, it's over.
It's over.
Tony Perez stops it.
Bro, Tua hit this man so hard. It was like, and it was like by reflex, he tried to fight with him. Tua just mauled him, bro. I think if Tua and Tyson fought, Tua wins because of the age gap. If Tua met Tyson in his prime, Tyson wins. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I have no idea. I have no idea, honestly. Chisora beats Tua. No. Tua would hit Chisora and kill him. No, that would probably be a fight that he doesn't walk away from. That would probably be Chisora's Drago. No. I don't think he beats it. I think David Tua would knock him out now. That guy's been training. What about Ika Barabucci versus Tua and McCall? I got Ika Barabucci. I just think he was a better fighter anyway. But, you know, McCall was a bad guy anyway. He's a bad dude. Yeah, I mean, he's under him. He's like 8 years older than David Tua. He's older. Yeah, Tua's a savage finisher, and when he catches you, yeah, he's going to knock you. If he hurts you, he's going to knock you out. Because all it takes is one shot. The guy has power out of this world. Understand that. David Tua hits you. You don't want to get hit with those shots, bro. I wanted Lennox Lewis to get hit with one of those fucking shots. I wanted David Tua to knock out Lennox Lewis so bad, but it didn't happen. Lennox was just too good for him. He was too tall, too fit, too experienced, too this, too that. No, I wouldn't want to see a fight like that. I don't want to see Tyson hurt. No, I don't want to see. No. No. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Evander Holyfield in the ring ever again, unless he's in there with somebody in the corner. Well, he said he was going to retire after that, David, anyway. I mean, I think he should have fought him again just to give him another opportunity, but it is what it is. But, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. I will see you guys tomorrow for another live stream because we got a lot to talk about. I got a lot of videos to drop tomorrow as well. You guys be blessed, be safe, and everyone has been counterpunched. Peace!